we are going to go ahead and get started today. I'm going to apologize in advance. My throat has been a little messed up. My wife got sick and I think she gave it to me, but we are good to go and getting rolling. So, we are going to start off with some updates, go into some questions, and then end with some more updates. So, there is some pretty big news that we're going to be talking about here at the end. So, make sure you stay tuned and listen through for that. But first, a couple things we wanted to hit at the beginning. So first and foremost, I wanted oh, actually, I guess before that, we will not have Fox or Dreamer with us today. Fox has some IRL stuff to take care of today, and Dreamer is in Vegas with Karate Combat. So he is a little bit wrapped up, not literally yet. That'll be in the fight in a couple months. I assume they allow wrap ups. I don't know. Anyway, so we will not have them with us today, but you get the rest of us. So first off, I wanted to turn over to Beetle Dude. I know there's been some talk out there about some stuff going on with Ledger, and so just wanted to hit on how, if at all, that impacted DFK.
It didn't. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes, we can.
Oh, perfect. Someone was also saying we should announce the AMA in Discord. I don't know if we normally do that, but maybe. Anyway, yes. So the Ledger package exploit, we were notified about that, I think, yesterday. And we quickly verified that there are no mentions or implementations of that in our code base on the front end, which is where it would be included, I guess. So we scoured through all of our node modules and packages and everything, and there's no integration on that side of things. So we should be good to go on the DFK side. But obviously, stay safe out there. There's a lot of other dApps that might have been impacted. So be safe. Make sure you know where is safe and where's not. I think it's also been resolved on the Ledger package itself as well. But obviously, there still could be versions out there that could be malicious. So be careful, but you don't need to worry about it on the DFK side. You should be safe and good to go. So yeah, that's our update.
Thank you, Beetle Dude. And yeah, for sure, just a good general reminder to always stay safe, always pay attention to what you're approving, keep an eye on your stuff. Let's see. So, aside from that, one thing I did want to do is both apologize and then highlight. A couple weeks back, we added like 5 or 6 new tools and content creators to the castle, and we did a Twitter thread, but then I forgot to bring them up in an AMA, so I'm sorry about that. But I wanted to give a shout out. But definitely check out the castle. The artist has a lot of fantastic content creators with more coming and continue applying to be listed. The archivist has a phenomenal selection of community built tools. The Envoy has our partners. So just in general, if you're not checking out the castle, you should be. And if you are making something DFK related, whether that be a tool, content, whatever, build.defykingdoms.com, fill out that application, let us highlight you. We just want to help you get exposure. So really appreciate everything you all do, and we want to try to support that and give back in any way we can. With that, Sunbear, if you wanted to add anything to that, feel free. And then I also think you had some other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, like you said, really appreciate the community that steps up and creates amazing content and services, and really easy to get in there. Just fill out those few questions so that it's live and visible to the rest of the community, and then we can get that processed and put up. So Strider right now is going through to make sure we haven't missed anything. If we have missed you, we apologize. We want to get you in there, so we'll get that going soon. Yeah, wanted to just highlight a couple biz dev efforts, mainly partnerships. We've been really trying to work with a lot more games and main partners to get DFK out in front of more people. If you participated in the tournament slash campaign with Ethless recently, thank you. Our community showed up strong in that space, had some fun playing some Battle Showdown. I think that was a lot of fun, and we're going to see some people bring in their vouchers and get new heroes from that partnership. Also, this week, as was mentioned last week, MetaX and their guild community really engaged in a DFK week this week, learning a lot more and coming on into the game. So appreciate that as well. And if you get connected and connect to their Discord, then they'll hook you up as with benefits in that space. So I just wanted to shout out to them. Also, recently announced is a big campaign with a game that I met on a panel in Singapore with Yellow Panther as a moderator that Ethless actually was sponsoring and Earn Alliance as well sponsoring Tales of Valeria. And these folks have really shown up big. I don't know if you know this, but way back in the day, when bloaters were starting to be caught, there was actually a bloater that was larger than most that was caught and kept as a pet by one of the heroes. He was so big they called him a blobfish. This bloater was beloved and kind of like a mascot to several of the heroes, and actually went on the perilous journey with his owner and other heroes. And on that journey, he was lost at sea when the ship was attacked, and just about all those heroes died. And ever since then, he has been on a rampage, looking for revenge and growing in size and eating everything in his path. And he has landed at Illyria and is attacking that town now. So soon, I believe on the 18th, they are launching a boss fight with this blobfish bloater, and you have a chance to go into their game and fight this bloater, which will be a lot of fun. So great campaign there. They actually partnered with Treasure DAO with this partnership between us and vouchers for heroes, prizes from Ilaria and Treasure DAO. There are about $35,000 worth of prizes to be had in that campaign. So encourage you all to get involved and connect with them. And I think we're going to see a lot of new players attracted to DFK because of that process. There are more campaigns to come in the next few weeks. A big one should be announced this week you'll hear about, and several more going into January. So excited to share more there. I'll just also add, stick around till the end. We're going to be talking about another biz dev focused, exciting piece of news you may have seen on Twitter. Because we are always growing, wanting to get Jewel in front of more people. So we'll have special guests talk with us about that as we get closer. And that is just the beginning of that effort. So more to come.
Appreciate you, Sun Bear. And yeah, looking forward to circling back at the end for another update. In the meantime, I believe Hubert Cumberdale wanted to drop a little alpha.
Sure do. Thanks, Bolon. Yeah, so we have a new feature that we're planning to release really soon here. It's something we've kind of kept close to our chest, not really talked about too much, but we're just about ready to release it, and I think probably next week is our target. I mean, things could always change, but you can look forward to that. So I guess without further ado, I'll say the new feature is called Visages, not Visages, spelling Visages. I know this has been kind of a funny little internal thing where we've argued how to pronounce the term, but I think the approved terminology here is either visage or vises. Or if you want to get fun with it, you can. But basically what they are is something that you see in a lot of other MMORPGs. In Final Fantasy XIV, they're called glamours. In World of Warcraft, they're called transmogrifications or something like that. Basically, it acts as equipment in the fact that it changes the appearance of your heroes, but it is not actually equipment. You can have other equipment on underneath. but it gives us the ability to have more unique appearances in the game and to do kind of some premium things. So what we're going to be doing with this is we're going to have a Visage shop that we're going to open up to go along with this. And within that shop, we're going to offer promotional visages that are tied to other influencers or partners. And we'll have more to say on that, I think. I don't think we're talking about that quite yet today, but if I'm wrong on that, Bullen, just let me know. And then we'll also be, our plan is to release our own premium visages that are tied to the DFK lore and environment, and having those be something that's only available through the Visage shop. The way these things will work is they are non-transferable. They're only for your one wallet that you purchase them on. And they can still be bridged though between our different realms, so you'll be able to keep your hero team with their appearances as you like. We do have a video that I don't know. Oh yeah, yep, it did get dropped. So yep, you guys did see that, and that does show some of what's coming. We have a bloater suit and a bloater mask, so you can be full bloatered out if you like. These are going to be set up in a way where we only offer them for a period of time, and then if they get offered again, it may be for like something in the future, like a flash sale, something like that. But generally, there'll be time limited availability for them. For promotional ones, we may have specific promotions where there'll be like a specific quantity available, things like that. But just other kind of features to go along with this, like the intent behind this premium Visage feature is to help fund the development team. This is going to be outside of the regular gameplay loop in terms of where the funds would get sent to. This would be 100% going to the dev team without any additional split of those funds going anywhere. And they're being set with a set price. So it'd be in USDC. You do have the ability to purchase either using Jewel or with USDC. If you use Jewel, it'll just use the current price of Jewel compared to USDC to do it, but it'll be pegged to a specific price. We'll have bundles available, so you could buy 3 at once at a discount, and as well as with like the bloater suit and the bloater mask. Those can also be purchased as a set at a discount as well. And then down the road also, we do plan to make a system that will allow you to convert normal equipment into visages as well. So that'll be a separate thing that will not be available at launch of the premium visages, but something you can look forward to. So like if maybe you have a nice amulet that you like to use, but you really want to wear the cooler head. You could convert those cooler heads into visages eventually and have those equipped so that that's visible that way, but you're still getting the benefit of an accessory that provides bonuses to you. So yeah, so that's kind of the general approach. I think the bloater suit, our plan is to have those be available for 2 weeks, and then after that they won't be available anymore until some point in the future for a brief period of time perhaps. And then we'll be switching that up to something else the following week, and we'll kind of be on a rotating, ever-changing kind of schedule of what visages are available. So, yeah, if you're interested in them, I mean, they're definitely available to you. They don't provide any sort of combat benefit, so they're purely a cosmetic item, and it also provides a way for you to make use of some of your other equipment that is. Eventually, you'll be able to convert things into visages too. So that could be a way to, rather than like burning your equipment after their durability goes down, you would have the option to turn it into a visage instead. So I could imagine there being some visage collectors out there that just want to have, a set of everything, and that's definitely possible. So yeah, I think that basically covers it. If I missed anything, let me know. But I think that's the full feature.
I don't know if you were actually reading AMA voiceless chat while you were talking or not, but it's like every time a question popped up, you answered it momentarily later. It was perfect. One last question: are they NFTs?
They are NFTs. They're technically the same NFTs as equipment. We're just setting them up in a way that with specific variables being set in a certain way that it converts them into a visage in terms of they won't be transferable anymore and they'll work differently. But it uses the same contract for each of the different pieces of equipment.
Awesome. I appreciate it. No, that's super exciting. Glad that we finally get to share this. If anybody has not seen AMA Voiceless Chat, the pinned messages has our intro video, as well as a little clip that Winston snipped out to show the bloater suit off. Thank you, Winston. We will be announcing and tweeting that video after this. But quite frankly, I didn't have the confidence in being able to tweet it while hosting this space. And so I decided that we were going to do it after. But we will be announcing that out. Obviously, there will be more information to come as well. We'll have a Medium article when it releases. One thing I did want to note on the limited front. So limited time availability. They may come back later. Those timeframes can be a little variable. And also, as we get into like the partner and promotional skins outside of our own. Visages. Hubert's going to kill me later. As we get into the promotional and partner visages later, those may work a little bit differently as well. So just keep an eye on us. Keep an ear to the ground. We will make sure that all of that information is well known and available. But really excited about it in general. Another question from chat: do they have rarity? Like built-in rarities, I should say.
Technically they do, but they're different. We're essentially, if it's a premium visage, that would be one that we create. It's going to have its own kind of marker in the rarity field. It's different from the other ones. Anything that's an influencer will have a different marking to it. So they are marked specifically, so you would be able to know, okay, this is that, this is this. With ones that you're converting, they would maintain the same rarity that they have, so it's kind of its own separate thing. They will be kind of identified separately because of that. So I mean, generally. I guess I wouldn't think of it as the same way, like as the normal equipment, though. I mean, if you do have something like Mythic that you're converting to a visage, it's still going to be Mythic. It was a Mythic item, now it's a Mythic visage. So, hopefully that answers that. And I do see other questions on here as well. There's people asking if it's like permanent when you equip it. It works essentially like equipment, so you can remove visages as you want and switch them to other heroes. They do still follow the same kind of cooldown approach that equipment follows. So when you're switching it, it'll take a day before you can unequip and then equip to somewhere else. But it basically kind of follows the same flow as what equipment follows right now.
Awesome. I really appreciate it. Also, hi, Dreamer. I see that you were able to jump in the audience. Not sure if you're able to come on stage or not. If you are, feel free to submit a request to speak. Otherwise, I'll leave you alone. Super excited for that. There will be more details coming, so stay tuned. But really excited to unveil what we've been working on. And with that, we are going to go into some questions for the week. So, first up is a Hubert question. Hope you weren't done talking. Will we be able to level our heroes while they are on expeditions without having to remove them from expeditions?
Yeah, so I think if anyone caught the ADFK podcast last night, I did kind of talk about this. I'll just kind of reiterate what I said then. With the base the base power up for expeditions, you would need to pull your heroes out of the expedition to level them up. However, we do have plans for a few different add-ons to the system, and those would just increase the convenience of it. So I think you can look forward to some of those things that you're worried about maybe still being inconvenient being addressed through those additional add-ons. But I'll be a little bit mum on exactly how those work and what they are for now.
I appreciate it. Yes, stay tuned. Let's see. There is a couple of duels questions, but I'm going to hold those for when Fox is with us next week as the duels master. Thoughts on being able to list pairs of heroes in the tavern? Beetle Dude, if you have thoughts, feel free. But Christian, you're also welcome to jump in here.
Oh no, I missed the question because of so much.
You were busy in Discord, huh? Thoughts on being able to list pairs of heroes in the tavern?
Interesting. What is the thought there?
Like, if you have an optimized Gen 0 pair, you could list them as
interesting. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever heard that suggestion before. I think it would probably first be a consideration on the contract side, maybe. Christian looks like he's got something to say.
I do, Beetle. Thank you so much. So yeah, I saw that question too come up in talk, and it is going to be something that we're going to implement into the dark market. It's in testing right now. It's going to be called a bundle. I think that's what Fox referred to it as well in a past AMA. So you can bundle up to, I think it's going to be initially 10 different things per auction, and that'll give you the ability to get Gen 0 pairs together that have matching genes that mutate and those types of things. I know that that's been a ask in the community for a while, is how can we sell both Gen 0s together that make a perfect match that may have 2, 3, if the magical 4 gene pairs that could mutate. That'd be awesome. So it is a consideration. We are testing it right now to make sure that everything's working, but yeah, I hope to have that ready so that you guys can sell your Gen 0 pairs together and hopefully maximize that auction when you are doing such a thing. Back to you, Bolon.
Hey, Christian, could I theoretically build out a powerful team to battle the boars and link them together in a listing like that?
Glad you asked, Sunbear. Yeah, you can basically do just about anything. So we're setting it up so that any ERC 721, any hero pet item inside the game can be bundled. So if you've got a great trifecta of heroes that you want to be able to auction off, or if you've got weapons that fit all of those heroes as well, if you've got pets that fit all those characters as well, you can put everything together. So right now, like I said, probably up to 10 because the gas gets a little bit tricky when you do any more than that, but it should give people the option to be able to go out to find those best hero pairs or those hero trifectas, pets, weapons, and package them all up together and get them all sold into one big bundle so that somebody could come along and get everything they need. Great question. Thanks.
Feel like y'all planned that. No, really looking forward to that. That's going to be really cool. Let's see. Next question. Have we ever considered, or would we consider, a promotional item that allows you to re-roll a hero's name?
Yeah, I can say I haven't really considered that too much. It's I suppose that would definitely be something that's possible. As to whether we should, that's I guess another question. Generally like to keep the NFTs, in their form as much as possible. I mean, we do have times where we've re-rolled genes and whatnot. But if we allow an NFT, like each of these heroes, to kind of just be editable in various ways like that, I think kind of detracts from the whole experience of generating them and kind of getting lucky on a name or getting unlucky. I had one wizard named Blong that I sacrificed to the perilous journey with much glee, and I'm sure some of you have some of those too. But yeah, it's something we can think about. I'm not really that inclined to want to do that, but you know, we could eventually in the future, perhaps.
Nice. Thank you, sir. Pet combat bonus display. As we get closer to adding the pet combat bonuses, are we considering a visual change to the card to differentiate between groups of combat bonuses, such as ranged, melee, magic, etc.?
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting idea. I think we're still working on how the pet bonuses are going to work. So like, I think in general they're meant to be mostly applicable across the board, but I think we will have some that are more beneficial for specific classes as well. So there may be some benefit in doing some sort of color coding on that, but it'll take a little bit of more time for us to kind of really be sure on that front. So a little too early to tell, perhaps. But I mean, we didn't do any color coding for any of the profession bonuses, so that would be a new thing if we did do it.
Good deal. Thank you, sir. When the next Void Hunt is released, will the cooldown timer apply to both hunts, or will the same hero be able to play both hunts each day?
The plan is for each hunt to be on its own separate timer, so you would be able to use the same team for both hunts.
Very nice. One more hunts question, at least for now. If the next hunt is more difficult, will the dropped rewards and the earned XP be greater than the boar hunt? Would the equipment be better in rarity or bonuses, etc.?
So I think, you know, while it may be a little bit more difficult potentially, I mean, we're still in the process of developing that and everything, so it's going to take a little bit of time to know like how much more difficult it'll be. You know, I think we're still planning on it being targeted at a level 10 team being able to do it, and kind of following the same as the boar hunt being having level scaling up from there. So the gear is going to be kind of tied to be very good gear for level 10s, and it's different gear than what is available from the boar hunt. So you know, saying it's better or worse, I think that's hard to answer per se, especially with, you know, there's nothing in there that is let's see. I don't know if there's any piece of gear that's going to be rewarded from this that would conflict with any other gear that already exists. So it's more like kind of filling in some of the gaps that exist right now is kind of how we're doing those rewards. And then, yeah, potentially the XP could be more, potentially. Again, it's going to take a little bit more time for us to really feel how difficult we're going to be able to make this, and, you know, still not make it too brutal so people can actually win. So, yeah.
And a follow-on to that, any thoughts in regards to adding another reward that is either guaranteed or very high likely, similar to the tier setup?
Yeah, so we did kind of say this a while back that there were plans to have some more additions to just the Void Hunt system as a whole. We, in the process of that, I mean, we did change some things with like how the Gaia's tiers worked. That wasn't the only planned change. There's another bigger system in the works. It's just being that it's bigger and being that we have a bunch of different priorities, it just will be a bit longer before we have that out. But that will, I think, it does have basically guaranteed rewards attached to it, and I think will be a pretty interesting system that you guys will like. Yeah, like I said, it's going to take a little bit more time before we get there, but we do plan on any hunt that has been completed before that system's out. We'll be airdropping, you know, rewards to everyone that did it. With that would work within that new system. So I'll just leave that at that until we get closer.
Very nice, very nice. Yes. Yeah, there's some exciting stuff in the works there, and when the time comes, we're excited to share it. Just not quite time yet. So, um, there we are. Sorry, was finding my place. Um, any updates on the possibility of delegating C and S Jewel to other wallets? Magnus, I'm not sure if you have anything on that. I think Fox might have been looking at it, but feel free.
Yeah, don't have too many updates there. I know Fox has that in his backlog, has done a little bit to start addressing that, but yeah, it's still in progress.
All right. Thank you, sir. Will it be possible to summon and rent out for summoning heroes while they are on expeditions?
Currently, the design allows for that. I know that Raf at ADFK was rallying to not allow that to be the case. So I guess if that could be the case, but right now at least it's not. It's designed to basically work the same way as questing does. I think once we do have traveling out, though, that is going to kind of change the whole paradigm, because your heroes will literally be not in the area where the portal is at that point. So if we don't limit it here and with these expeditions, I think you could look forward to there being limitations in the future.
Very nice. That is something I look forward to. Let's see. Question for Beetle Dude, which I'm going to preempt that it's a question for Beetle Dude so that he knows it's coming.
Thank you.
I'm here to help. Are there any plans to have logical connectors and not in the filter system?
That's a good question. I don't think it's something that we've planned on, and it might need some preempting with our API wizard Pinecone. But I do think it would be interesting and a good addition to have in the future. I don't know at what point we'll prioritize it, because I think it'll be pretty logic heavy, and we do have quite a bit of filters available, so it could get a little wild. But yeah, I think it's something that we could consider and see what kind of lift that looks like on the API in front end for the future. The list. But now it's Pinecone's list too. Yep.
Oh, sorry. Wait, it's Pinecone's list? What?
His is a little. We add that to it.
Okay. I was gonna say, are you passing off the whole list to Pinecone? That poor man. Speaking of your list, thoughts on keybind functionality in combat?
Ooh. That's a great idea. I did have. Sorry, Pinecone. I know you have a list too. I have thought a lot about using the browser controller API long ago in the long ago past. I think it could work great in the game. It would be probably difficult to make it work through the entire interface, but I definitely wanted to explore that in the actual game itself. As far as hotkeys, I think it might be something that we could define on our end and give people a little bit of a ability there. I will preface it, I guess, by saying that we are also going to be working on a revamp of the UI itself, which should make it a lot more friendly for using, I guess, like your keyboard if you wanted to, something like that. So that is something on the horizon that will just make the controls a lot simpler and easy to kind of navigate if you were using a keyboard. So yeah, something that we've got, I guess, on the roadmap when we get to that point. So something to keep an eye on.
Nice. That's super cool. I'm going to grab one more question from Discord, and then we are actually going to have Maddie Pesk come up and ask a question live. Maddie, if you want to request. And then after that, we're going to go into the update that we teased earlier, as well as have a special guest to join us. So real quick, last question from Discord. Thoughts on having a raffle system similar to duels, but for dark summoning? And then when we were to do, some of the like seasonal events, being able to just put those rewards into said raffle system.
Is that a me question?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting idea. Making raffle systems and whatnot does take a decent chunk of time. So I'm a little bit, nervous about just adding to our plate, because we really do have a lot on our plate, and each thing we add, and especially if we prioritize it, means something else is pushed out by 2 to 4 to 6 weeks, depending on what it is. I mean, a raffle system, we have a lot of those, so it probably wouldn't take that long, but there's also a lot of thought put into like how much inflation that would create and whatnot. So it is a decent lift, at least. So I don't dislike the idea, though. I think with dark summoning, that there having more incentives there wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. But yeah, not something I'd want to focus on right now, if possible.
Makes sense. Maddie Pesk, what's going on?
Not much. Thanks for letting me come up here and ask some question, or ask a question, I should say.
Yeah, glad to have you. Fire away.
I'm committing kind of a sin, and I apologize because I am going to mention a different Web3 game during the AMA. But I don't know if you guys saw or not, but about a month ago now, Illuvium released a version of their arena game on the Epic's Games launcher, and it's completely Web 2. All of the in-game stuff that hypothetically are supposed to be NFTs and work on the blockchain, they just did it as like a free game that you can play. What are your guys' thoughts kind of in general and philosophy on that, on potentially spending time and energy creating a Web 2 version of some parts of the game? And then, I don't know what the Illuvium plan is, like if they're going to add in the Web 3 stuff or just completely change it later. But just in general, kind of philosophy on creating more Web 2 aspects and then adding in the Web 3 stuff afterwards. And before you answer, I want to let everyone know questions like this and other topics I discuss with my two best friends in a podcast I host called Bogside Chats on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m.
No shilling in general. Just kidding. Yeah, if you don't check out Bogside Chats, you should. And if you go to the castle, like I told you to earlier, you'll see Bogside Chats. Anyway, back to Maddie's question. Hubert, Workhorse, Magnus, Beetle, thoughts?
Yeah, I don't necessarily hate the idea, but I do think it would be a lot of work. So again, it's one of those things where it's like I feel like what we're working on right now is a higher priority than something like that. But in terms of for marketing and whatnot, being able to have something that at least you can do without needing to own NFTs and whatnot might. There could be some realm where there could be some flavor of that where I think that would be beneficial. But what we can maybe discuss internally, but I generally want us to continue to focus on what we're building right now, rather than kind of fork off onto making a separate version of the game. But not 100% opposed to the idea either myself. I don't know, other people want to chime in?
Hey, so I tend to toe the line with Hubert on a lot of these topics. I think I'm actually sort of in the same headspace entirely. However, who's to say we couldn't make, when there is time, which, as you all kind of know, there just sort of isn't. But if there is time, making a related game that sort of funnels users into the sort of the real game. So maybe it's a mini game or a version of our universe that is simplified without the need for ownership. That could be cool. to me, that sort of feels like a promotional item that would, funnel attention into the real thing. However, there's so much to do, and we have a whole universe to build before we probably can think of things like that. So I think Hubert's got a good mindset on this one.
Awesome. Anybody else have thoughts? Maddie, does that answer your question?
No, that's awesome. I think, yeah, I would say push the Web3, because I feel like people are going to start playing this Web2 version of it, for the Illuvium example at least. And then when they change it to Web3, all those previous fans are now going to be like, what's going on here? So I like the idea of just creating a Web3 game straight up.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
I think you touched on something great there, Maddie, which is we're all here to play a Web3 game. We're all here because the technology enables something really cool and empowers us to be a part of a growing universe that is like the most living thing we can make in gaming potentially ever. So to me, kind of going back to Web2 could feel just like a step back, yeah, anyway.
I'll just add real quick, I think that there is some real merit and value to people that are building kind of the Web 2.5 games, pulling in the Web 2.0 players and more of the technology development that's really happened over the years with that, but integrating some of the blockchain pieces. I'm excited to do more integrations with or partnerships with folks that are doing that, because I think it is one of those links that will bring people into Web3 once they really kind of get a taste for that ownership piece and really see what's kind of possible there. And then, but I do think like our identity as a game is best fit in this Web3 space. And not only because of ownership, but just because like we're maximizing the technology, we're doing fun things. Like look at the tokenized economy we built out. I mean, it really is a World of Warcraft of Web3, which is so unique and one reason I love this project. The other thing I'll say too is like if you're out there and you are a game builder and you want to figure out a way to bring people in through some fun version of what we offer or a way to use our NFTs, pets, whatever it might be, like we'd love to partner with you. We'd love to get you on DFK Chain. We'd love to get you in the castle and find out a way to collaborate so that it does help people kind of have some fun way that maybe they know a little bit better and might bring them into the kingdom as well.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that too, which shouldn't be news to anybody who follows us or listens to us, is just removing those barriers to getting in. Holiday smart wallets, on ramps, making it easy for people to get into Web3 and take advantage of those benefits and enjoy the beauty of ownership. But if you make it too difficult, you have problems there. So you got to remove those barriers, make it easy for people to get in. Awesome. I really appreciate you, Maddie. Thank you for joining us and for the awesome and insightful question. I am going to kick you off the stage, though, but it's done with love. And with that, we are going to introduce a special guest as well as give a little bit of an update. So S-Crypt is joining the stage. I don't know what name he uses in the crypto sphere, so I'm not going to throw out a name just yet. But Sunbear, do you want to introduce this?
Absolutely. Introduce this and this partner of ours. We're speaking about innovation. We're speaking about development. You've seen some things that we're even doing today. I want to reference Visages as well. We're always looking for ways not only to do new fun things, but to sustain and to grow and to, just get DFK out there into the world. You probably heard that. Obviously, you heard that the money that comes in from Visages is actually funding the dev team directly. We've never done anything like that before, but we've been asked by the community, why aren't you doing something like that? Well, we haven't because we're so focused on building and making this game, and to do it with something fun that doesn't directly affect gameplay but can just kind of be this fun extra thing, and it supports the resources needed to continue the game build no matter what's happening with the market, no matter what's happening outside of our build space. just ensures the longevity of this game and gives people a direct way to support us. So we're not lining our pockets, we're reinforcing the resources to guarantee continued growth and build with that feature. So in that vein, again, trying to grow with partners and with business development, one of those efforts has been to get Jewel out there in the world more and more, because right now it's it's really our decks, which is awesome to have it so centralized and there, but to get it out more, we needed to expand to other exchanges. And so we have looked at, as you know, we've talked about this for a long time, when's the right time to jump on centralized exchanges, when's the right time to use some of our treasury to do that, where should we do that? And we decided to start with an amazing partner that we have right in front of us, CoinStore. CoinStore we've been talking with for a long time. They have been just really great partners ever since we started talking with them well over a year ago, and wanting and proposing different ways that we could get Jewel integrated, and made it very effective and affordable for us to do that. They also are highly dedicated to like marketing it like crazy, really getting it out there in front of their communities. And I just want to say to the community, this is the beginning of us getting Jewel and DeFi Kingdoms out there. This is not the only place, but it's the really good place to start. So I want to invite Sam up on the stage to say hi, to say why DeFi Kingdoms, and how he's feeling about this new partnership that we just announced. And by the way, this is a listing coming soon announcement that you've seen. We don't have out there exactly when it's happening yet, but that will be coming very soon. So Sam.
Hey, thanks. Hey guys, Sam here from CoinStore. Thanks Sunbury for the introductions. We're definitely very excited, and thank you for the invitation here to be able to speak with the community of DeFi Kingdom. Yeah. Speaking of, I think we're actually very bullish on DeFi Kingdom, DFK. One of the main reasons is because the team has been constantly pushing the limits of blockchain technology to give the best experience for the gamers or for the users, and I think that's the most important. And we have been actually speak for about 1 year, if I'm not mistaken, and we have seen that the team actually constantly, establishing great partnerships and constantly updating the community and constantly building. That's very important. And also, we're aware that actually DeFi Kingdom, you guys actually have a very easy on ramp by different providers, which I think is a good sign. In terms of scalability. I still remember, I think a year ago or a year or two ago, when there's a lot of FUDs on GameFi because of not sustainable. And here we can see DeFi Kingdom constantly updating and speaking about scalability, speaking about sustainability. I think that's really good. And for CoinStore, we have been supporting a lot of different GameFi projects and helping them to scale the ecosystem towards the Asia market, because that's what we're strong at. And we're definitely keep looking out to the more GameFi jams, and DFK is definitely one of them. We are very excited and we are very thankful for this partnerships and cooperation.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sam. Super excited to have you here. Appreciate you being here. I think it's 4 a.m. for you right now. So
yeah, that's how
more of a
excited I am.
testament
I'm actually based in Singapore. So for CoinStole, we are actually based in Singapore, and it's about 3:50 right now in the morning, and I'm actually kind of like stay for the whole AMA since the start, and actually I'm listening through every single updates. That's how excited I am, to get to know more about DFK.
I noticed, Dreamer, you popped up on the stage. Anything you wanted to add about this partnership?
Yeah, so I think that was a great intro and overview, and I don't have the best connection, so if you guys cannot hear me, Bolan, if you could interrupt me, that'd be great. But we have been looking at centralized exchanges for a long time. I think there are a number of benefits to CoinStore's listing here, mainly the target area for our users being right in line with their target current user base as well. With like 200 to 300 million average volume in spot trading, average daily over the last, I guess, week or so that we've seen. This is a huge opportunity for a lot of that volume to look to Jewel. And with the co-marketing efforts that we have planned and others, I think it's going to be big. We're learning a lot in this exchange listing process. Having direct DFK chain integration is really important. And that's something that is with this listing as well, that essentially allows people to get that Jewel right on DFK chain as well. So stoked about the partnership and listing. Excited for more information on the exact date and the ongoing marketing efforts to get more exposure out there for DeFi Kingdoms, and hopefully more people holding, trading, and sharing about Jewel.
Awesome. Thank you, Dreamer. I'll turn it back over to you, Bolan.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I just want to echo that. Super appreciative that you stayed up to join this AMA. Thank you so much for doing that. I know
You're
4
welcome.
AMAs are always fun. But very excited for the future. And, as we've said with a couple other things, stay tuned for more details. Today was just the announcement that it was happening. There will be more information to come. One thing I did want to maybe note, I'm just going to note it, I guess. And if Dreamer slaps me on the wrist, sorry. But we mentioned a couple AMAs ago that, we were considering using the Jewel funds in the validator fund for something along these lines. That is going to be our plan. So you will see some of the Jewel come out of the validator fund, but that is why. And so we just wanted people to be aware, not be concerned when they see that happen. I hope that was okay to say now, Dreamer.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. So the validator fund was really meant for ongoing costs to run it, but we've never touched it, kind of covered costs separately. And it's there's always market making or other costs or I guess liquidity requirements with these things. So it makes a lot of sense to use that. So I think it's fair to be transparent and share that. But hey, Bolan, I'm gonna have to hop here in a second. I did just want to share a little bit of excitement around Visages, if that's okay.
Absolutely, go for it.
Nice. So I hope that everybody's seeing like the full vision with these. This isn't just for the users to have a more fun experience in game. There's some other benefits as well, and some ways you can get pretty creative. One of which you did see the karate gi in the trailer. I'm guessing, which was an awesome trailer. I think that is in collaboration with Karate Combat. So more details are going to come out on this, but what the idea is with third-party sponsors, us collaborating on these skins, there are going to be other perks of owning some of these skins. Possibly upon purchase, having the skins actually have kind of a rebate or promotion of token drop. That's what we're working on with Karate Combat. More information to come there. If you think about, Fortnite, a lot of times they use IP of influencers to bring it right into game, and kind of partner with influencers in a way that it's more organic for people to share about the game. That's the plan for Visages here as well. If you think a lot of influencers in the space, they have their own brand in some way. And you can take some of their branding or IP and figure out a way to represent it in game, and kind of a unique way to partner with these folks and overall market much better and in a fun way, in a way that benefits both the players of DeFi Kingdoms and that influencer themselves. So kind of three different pieces here. One is incredibly fun for us to have these Visages be applied not only in combat, but in the card in pretty much every way. But to work with third parties to have them sponsor these skins and do unique giveaways. Depending on what we do, there could be ongoing giveaways as well. Like in the future, if we wanted to do a follow-on, we could be like, the qualifying factor is your heroes have to be wearing the Karate Combat gi, and then do A, B, and C to win X, Y, Z. So it kind of makes it a little bit more dynamic, our ways to work with some of our partners. And then we kind of can sponsor influencers out there as well, and have those listed, maybe even build a lineup for those that are really successful and people like. So I'm stoked on Visages. I'm really excited for not only the aspect of customized gameplay, but the ability to reach kind of an unlimited amount of audiences with various influencers out there is awesome. And many have already given feedback that they are down. We are probably just going to be doing them, one at a time every month or two to not get overwhelmed in any way. But over time, it's going to hopefully prove to be a great partnership and marketing tool.
Yes, most definitely. I share that excitement, and yeah, I'm so excited that we finally can talk about it. So really looking forward to that. Awesome. Does anybody have any final thoughts? And if not, we are going to let our new friend from Coin Store give us a bullish. So any final thoughts from anybody? All right. Sam, take it away.
Hey, sorry. I went to the toilet. Yeah. Can you repeat again?
We are good to go. If you want to give us a bullish to wrap us up, we're ready. And if you have any final comments, you're welcome to make them as well.
Yeah. So I'll give a bullish. Oh, okay. So, DeFi Kingdom to the moon.
That's
Love
epic.
it.
Love
Love
that.
it.
Bullish.
All the best, guys. All the
Bullish.
best.
Bullish.
Thanks, everybody.
Bullish, guys. Thank you.
We'll see y'all next week.